All right, today's day 69, building a startup and documenting the entire process. Let's get it. This week's priorities: 1, continuing with some outreach, but 2, I think the main focus is actually going to be data gathering. So we've had about 20 user testers who have been using the platform for a week or 2 weeks or so. Obviously that's not a ton, but it's enough to start gathering some very initial data on the experience and what people like best, things that are working, things that aren't. So before everyone breaks for the holidays, I want to try to send out surveys to everyone and make sure I can get some data collection, maybe even set up follow-up calls to the survey if needed, so that over the break I can kind of heads down, get back into building mode, but take into account all of the feedback and stuff we got from there. But to kick things off this morning, I have an onboarding session in an hour before that though, so I've been manually walking everyone through the onboarding process, but as I continue to improve the platform, we're getting closer and closer to them being able to do it themselves. There's just like a tiny fix I need to do to allow that to happen, so I think I'm going to try to do that and then try this new onboarding for the first time where they are actually doing it. Hypothesis is that maybe it'll make them feel more invested if they're actually the ones kind of setting it all up, so we'll see how that goes. All right, just use the new flow on this onboarding session where the artist actually went through it themselves. One thing I've been thinking a lot about, it's important to focus on the process because that's purely in your control, doing things that are your control, versus outcomes where a lot of times they're not in your control. A lot of times that leads to burnout. You start comparing yourself, why am I not hitting these outcomes, versus process things you can totally do. I've been trying to think about ways to reward that, and kind of the first thing we had was this kind of process points where everything you do, you kind of earn something, but helping artists feel like they got their first win early in the experience, creating a place where people feel like they're succeeding. And so I think I'm going to start adding a little bit more gamification. I have some ideas for some badges or stuff like that, where it's just like when people take action on the platform, etc., it feels like they're accomplishing something, they're doing something. That's really what we want to start encouraging this platform, is that like just by doing the little things, you are improving, you are growing, you are doing the right things. Yeah, I have like an hour now and then I have 2 more intro calls. Just had a dope intro call. We set up a session to get on the platform for Thursday, and I just kind of I went on a walk and kind of got a wild hair to just post a little teaser of the platform on my music account, so I think I'm gonna do that. But before I do that, just doing like a final tweaks if I were to put something live, finishing those, and then I'm just gonna do a little teaser. Realistically, probably nothing will happen with it, but just in case someone has to get involved, just making sure I have all those systems ready to go. So we'll see. Kind of the first kind of like public thing, but just gotta try shit, see what happens. So we'll see. All right, absolutely classic startup stitch right now. So one of my user testers just hit me up who's been using this for like a week or so, and he was like, yo, where are my Daisy messages, or where are my messages? Because a big part of this is like getting text notifications about what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, guidance, that kind of stuff. And I've been texting this user for like the entire time he's been testing. So like a week, almost every day, like, sending reminders, stuff that we said we were going to do. And he was like, yo, like, did y'all abandon me? Like, where's the stuff? And he sent me his thread and he hasn't received any of this. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, have none of my user testers like been receiving any of these texts that I've sent, which is like one of the key things that we're testing right now, is like if that's valuable. So yeah, I got to figure this out, but like this is my first kind of classic startup journey experience in this one. So yeah, gotta figure this out. So I just got in touch with a bunch of the users who are already user testing, and it seems like most of them actually are receiving the messages, which is cool. So it seems like Disaster Server is just that one person. I actually am gonna have to switch text services anyways once I start integrating a little bit more automated. So actually this might be a good time to just do that anyways. But yeah, overall solid day. We had 2 calls, 1 intro call and 1 actual platform onboarding session. And I actually did a lot of work on the platform because I wanted to essentially get it ready for it being live. So I set the waitlist as the default. I set up an invite code, access code, so you can only actually get on if you have the access code, because I just was messing around and I did my first ever kind of reveal on my music account of just like what we were working on, just like a small little teaser. So I just wanted to be ready in case anyone hit me up about that. So yeah, it's kind of fun, like getting that weight off the shoulder of the first thing, as kind of expected. Nothing really happened with it. So again, still same process. I won't really start going hard with the promotion until the new year at some point. So yeah, solid day following the journey. I'll catch y'all tomorrow.